Kia ora people, choo, hope you fellas are safe and well. So basically, yeah, I just wanted to share my thoughts on The Last of Us Part 2. This is not a review, okay, this is just a first impressions. I've roughly played 7 hours worth, so, and I just want to, well, I think that 7 hours is a good time to. I've had enough time with the game to know sort of how I feel about the story and the gameplay and all that stuff. So, but before I say anything else, I just want to say that there will be spoilers in this impressions video. So if you still haven't played the game, or at least if you haven't played the first 7 hours worth, mind you, I did do some exploring because there was a bit in the game where it's like a big open area. Um, so I did do a bit of exploring. So I'm not like fully into the game. I'm still I've passed a bit with the leaks, obviously, and I'm in the Seattle area, and it's just an open sort of area where you can roam around, collect documents, stuff like that. Do slight puzzles, but basically, yeah. Um, First off, okay, hold on. What do I want to say? Okay, so first off, the gameplay. I think we'll start off with gameplay. The gameplay is, it's sweet. I really like the gameplay. It's nice and smooth. The dodge mechanic is cool. Like, I'm feeling the dodge, although there's a bit of a pause as the enemies come up, which is kind of weird, or at least the infected, they'll like, especially the runners, like, so they'll run up at you, and then they'll do this, like, delay. I don't know, like, they're gonna attack you, but they, like, sort of have, like, they'll, like, run up to you, then they'll, like, do this sort of delay, and then they'll, like, attack you. It's kind of weird, so you're sort of, like, so you don't dodge right away. You have to sort of like wait for them to raise their arm or something, and then they'll go in for an attack, which is sort of a bit weird. So you sort of dodge, yeah. You have to, when you play, like, obviously if you've played it, you'll know that the enemies don't necessarily attack you straight away. That they got a bit of a, or at least the infected, anyways. The infected enemies, they've got this sort of weird pause, and then they attack you. It's kind of weird, but I'm liking the dodge mechanic. There's also another element that they've added, which is Ellie can like squeeze in between certain gaps. So if you see a gap, you can like sort of squeeze in, and that can be a good way to separate you from the enemies, especially if there's like 5 infected coming at you, or and you want to create a bit of distance, and you want to sort of take them out one by one type thing. You don't sort of want them clumped together. Yeah, that's like a good way of like breaking what is it? Breaking line of sight and stuff like that. So I quite like that, how Ellie is quite nimble. She can like move around. She can go prone, crawl under vehicles. So like that's pretty cool. Being able to squeeze through gaps, and that it sort of makes the combat a bit more it's kind of like Uncharted, kind of like it, but slightly different. It's not as flamboyant as Uncharted can be. Quite bombastic, whereas The Last of Us is sort of still keeps it sort of grounded, which is okay. I like that. So the gameplay's fine. The upgrading is pretty cool. You get there are benches that you can find and upgrade your weapons, and that you collect parts similar to the first one, but I think there's a lot more workbenches. I've noticed there's a hell of a lot more workbenches that you find, and you can craft things and do your own thing. So that's all right. The skill tree is sort of different. The skill tree is a bit different. You have to find training manuals, and certain training manuals open certain skill trees and abilities that then you can use, but the only way to get those certain abilities is by finding the training manuals, and then it'll open up the skill tree type thing. So it's interesting. It's different. Definitely is different. That's all right. And the graphics, obviously, the graphics are cool. Yeah, it looks like Uncharted 4, like, like great graphics, the lighting, the shadows, all of that stuff. It's great. It looks, especially as far as consoles go, like it looks great, beautiful. Now, with that out of the way, okay, I would like to say something about the story. Okay, so yes. The story. Well, the story is interesting. I have seen the leaks though, so I wasn't surprised. Although I did get, like, I didn't expect for Joel to actually die in the first, few hours of the game. Like, I wasn't expecting that. I thought that would happen later on, but no, it sort of happens quite quickly actually. Um, the way though, the way that Joel and Tommy meet Abby, and then how they followed Abby to her base, to her to her camp, I should say. I thought that was weird. It rubbed me the wrong way because Tommy was like, "Abby, are you okay? My name's Tommy. This is my brother Joel." And I was just like, I don't know. It was really weird how they sort of treated Abby. Like, it was weird. And then Abby tells them, "Oh, look, I've got a camp. Maybe you should come follow me." And I was like, I don't know. And then I don't know. Like, I didn't. I don't know. And then Tommy and Joel were like, "Yeah, yep, sure, let's follow." I mean, I could understand that they had runners coming after them, so they didn't have a choice. But once they were safe, like, that should have been like, okay, we're safe from the infected. We're behind the gate. They were able to get to the camp. They were behind the gate, and now it's like, okay, I don't know any of you fellas. I think it's best if we keep our distance. But like, that's what I thought. Like, that's what I would do. But Tommy and Joel, they just came up and been like, "Hey man, yeah, can we park our horses here?" I was like, "What?" And then you can hear Tommy say, "Hey man, you got a towel?" You, talking. Have you got a towel that I could use, or spare towel? I don't know. And then Tommy and Joel are like, "Hey." I was like, this doesn't fit right. So Tommy and Joel are like walking up there, and they're like, "Hey, hey." They're like, "Hey, oh yeah." And then Tommy's like, "Hey man, look, we got a settlement, and how about you guys come along and stock up before you head out?" And it was just really weird. I was like, why would you tell these people your settlement? You don't know them. Um, they could be other survivors, like the other enemy survivors. There are other factions. You got the WLF, and then you've also got that other religious faction, but none of them were worried. I was like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you've got these two other factions out in the world. What's the bet Abby and her people are from? They're not just any old survivors. These could be the WLF or that crazy religious cult group. But it didn't bother them. Like, Tommy and Joel didn't. It was like, they weren't that bothered who they really were. It was weird, especially in The Last of Us Part 1, where you've got Joel and Ellie, how they're driving in the car, and then that guy's on the road like, "Oh, help me." And then Joel just put his foot on the accelerator and just kept John driving. Like, it felt so out of character for Joel, especially from the first game. And then this one, it's like, I don't know, it was so dumb. And I didn't really I don't know, that really irked me. It quite annoyed me quite a lot, that scene there. So I don't know what. I thought that they could have done something better, or Neil Druckmann could have written something a bit better, like maybe an ambush would have been better than, or I don't know, something else would have been better than what they did. Like, this was just really dumb and so out of character for for Tommy and Joel to be like, hey, here's our camp, and hey, I'm Joel. Hey, hey, I'm Joel. Why is everyone looking at me all funny? You know, it's like, why is everyone ah! Like, I was like, huh? I was like, man, you fellas are stupid. I don't know. I thought that was, yeah. So that's a big. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. That was dumb. That was really, really dumb. And it reminded me of like The Walking Dead, or you know how there's you know how there's those dumb characters on The Walking Dead where you're just like, bro, what are you even up to? You deserve to die now because of how stupid you know, because of how stupid you are. And that's sort of how I felt towards Tommy and Joel. I'm like, you fellas are stupid. Like, you know, like, well, that's what you get, you know, when you do dumb, you know, when you make dumb decisions. Like, I don't know. So that rubbed me the wrong way. And as well as, I thought I'd just touch up on Ellie. Is it just me, or does Ellie seem a bit emo-y? Like emo-y, mopey. She's going around, moping around. And this wasn't like, and I'm talking before Joel died. I'm not talking after. I'm talking before Joel died. Like, she's sort of acted all mopey, and she's like, you know, and Joel comes in, hey, I've got you a song. I'll play you a song, and she's like, like she seems really emo-y, mopey, grumpy, and it annoys me. I don't know what they did to her character, because in the first game, Ellie was this firecracker. You know, she was like this ball of energy. She was quite quick and quite witty and clever with her comebacks. She's really good with her comebacks, and she can go pa 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 pa. You know, she can come off as quite disrespectful too, because of her mouth is quite snappy. You know what I'm saying? And she's quite feisty. In the first game, this was for 14-year-old Ellie. But now in this game, I notice she's kind of like sort of mopey, and she's like, oh, hey, she's like, oh, you can have this. This is a bigot sandwich. Here you go, have it. I don't know. She just seems a bit, and she comes off as a little bit of a dick, and that's not only to Joel, but but she sort of acts that way towards Dina and that Asian guy. I've forgotten his name. I can't remember. Was it Jason, or I can't remember? But that Asian guy. Um, you know, she just seems really mopey, and she mopes around, and she's just a different character to what she was in the first. And this was, as I said before, this was before Joel died. Like, I could understand she became mopey and more sad after. Like, that I could understand, but I'm talking before. Like, is it just me, or did she seem like emo-y, like, like she didn't want to do anything, or she was, you know, she was just acting a bit of a. She annoyed me. Ellie annoys me because I think it's because they changed her character. That's how I feel. Ellie's just a different character to me. I'm like, what happened to the firecracker that was Ellie in the first game? Now she's sort of this sad, mopey, and this was before Joel died. Yeah, I don't know. It annoyed me, and even after Joel died, she was just sort of like, I mean, that way I guess I could understand, you know. Um, but it seemed to me that Joel and Ellie weren't getting along. I don't know why or what happened. Did she know that Joel lied to him, maybe, and that's why she's sort of all mopey and sad, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, those are my first impressions. Um, I'm definitely interested in. I mean, I still want to play the game. Abby is this wrestler. I don't know what she is. Like, she's got some big ass muscles, and 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 her character model kind of looks a bit weird. Does her character model look weird to you? Like, especially her chest area, like it just looks so disproportioned. Like, so she's got this big huge arms, and then she's got like floppy pancake boobs. I don't know what's going. I'm like, yo, what happened to Abby's? Like, especially that bit where she took her, jersey off and she's just wearing her shirt, and I was like, sitting there like, what the hell happened to? Who done her character model? Because it's like, I was just like, what? She's got like floppy pancake, but it just looks weird. Is it? Hey, look, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's not. If you're not that bothered, hey, cool. But for me, I couldn't help but I sort of, I kind of chuckled a little bit because it was so weird. She just looked really floppy pancake boob. I'm like, I don't know. I thought that was really weird. Is that because maybe she strapped them down? Maybe she like wrapped. Maybe, I don't know. They just look really weird. And then Dana, obviously, Ellie and Dana's dialogue is like really cringy. Like I'm just like, ugh. Like I don't even want to hear them speak. I don't know. And Dana's infatuated with kissing. It's like, how would you rate our kiss? To Ellie, and I'm like, bro, I don't care. And she's always talking about kissing Ellie. Like, she won't stop. I'm like, bro, just stop. Like, you're acting real weird. You're making me uncomfortable. Like, and Ellie's all awkward. Ellie's confidence is like gone. I don't know. It's so weird. But yeah, those are my first impressions. 7 hours worth though, so I've still got more. Obviously, there's still more, and my impressions could change. Obviously, because I've only played the first few hours of the game, so my thoughts could and probably will change as I continue to play the game more and more. But yeah, those are my impressions. Hope you fellas are enjoying the game if you've bought it and are playing it now. Yeah, but these are just my honest thoughts. Agree or disagree, it's up to you. It doesn't matter to me. Anyways, be safe. Catch you fellas up in my next video. Peace.